Hey, what's up? I'm Jack the DabLad, and I love solventless cannabis products, whether it's a vape, a jar of rosin, or some edibles that have rosin in them. I also happen to buy a ton and sell a ton of these products as a bud tender at a medical dispensary here in Colorado. I'd like to share with you guys some thoughts today on what I believe to be ways people who make these products can elevate their packaging to make it more appealing to customers like myself, or for the people who are looking for products like these and buying them, what I would look for in a high quality solventless product. So right here, I've got a really dope little disposable rosin pen from this company, the Flower Collective. They're releasing their jars of rosin in just a few days up at Tetra in Denver. I'm really excited to try it out, mostly because I really liked this vape. I loved the rosin that was in it, so it made me curious what the micron spectrum of rosin is. So for any inhalable solventless product, I think specifying the micron range is very valuable, especially in a pen, because just like how in joint producers will like to hide the worst of their product inside the joint, I feel like lots of times people do the same with cartridges, whether it's distillate or rosin. Odds are they're not putting the best rosin in their cartridges. So if you specify that this is 90 to 120U, for instance, then I am confident that this is actually some of the best of this rosin, of that Papanana. So I think that's one small upgrade we could make to this packaging here from the Flower Collective, just to have it really demand that top dollar. You can see we do have the strain on here. Of course, that's bare minimum. I've got my dab camera here. We've got Papanana. And so one thing that I also wish we had on this package was the parent genetics of this strain. So I assume it's like papaya and banana OG. But to me, as a rosin consumer, that's absolutely crucial. And even my favorite cartridges or vapes that I recommend to people at my shop, now that I think of it, most of them don't have the parent genetics on it. Which, dude, it's such a small change that elevates the value of the product to me. I don't see why you wouldn't do it personally. So we've got parent genetics, the micron. If you even want to go a step further, you could get into the growing methodology, whether or not it's living soil or how long the plant was grown, whether it's first pull, second pull, first wash, second wash, that type of stuff. All that additional information, in my opinion, elevates a product, especially to connoisseurs like myself, or people who really spend the big bucks on these products, that are willing to spend the top dollar for a single-use product. And then when it comes to edibles, it's very similar stuff. I think the micron is less relevant, whether it's 90U, 120U, because in edibles, most of the time when we're working with rosin, it's going to be that food grade rosin, which means it'll be 73U or 49 to 70U, or that smaller range, I do believe, is usually what they put in edibles. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that that's very desirable for the most part. And I don't think there's much difference between a 90U edible versus an edible that's made with a full spectrum or less desirable micron rosin. But dude, maybe that's the next thing in edibles. Maybe someone will pave the way, and that's how they'll demand the next highest price and raise the bar of what people will pay for edibles, is by saying, oh, this isn't your food grade edible, or your food grade rosin, this is the rosin that you'd normally find in the jar, only find in the jar. This is actually in your brownie or gummy or whatever. Small things like that, I think, are just examples of ways you can just throw a little extra information on your solventless product package, and people like myself will really be jumping to get after it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, give me a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.